Hey there, good morning. I'm Diana Opong in for Patricia Murphy. It's Friday. This is Seattle Now. We hit record low temperatures this week. West Seattle got some bad news about bridge repairs, and Sue Bird is playing another season. KUOW's Katie Campbell and Justin Shaw of Seattle Weather Blog are here to break it all down. But first, let's get you caught up. What you're hearing is the Ukrainian national anthem. It was being sung on the UW campus yesterday as Seattleites gathered to protest the Russian invasion of Ukraine. A group of local Russian Americans also showed up in support of Ukraine at the Space Needle. About 100,000 Washingtonians have family ties to the Eastern European country. More demonstrations are planned throughout the weekend. Meanwhile, aggressive protesters disrupted a Department of Health meeting yesterday. It happened while an advisory board was considering whether to recommend adding the COVID-19 vaccine to the list of mandatory immunizations to attend school. The DOH says it briefly locked down 3 buildings on its Tumwater campus after reports of protesters getting in people's faces and chasing them. One employee was hurt. The advisory board narrowly voted against recommending the COVID-19 vaccine. The final decision is up to the Board of Health. And we've got Seattle's latest hot real estate listing for you. $50,000 for 128 square feet. Not for a house, for a parking spot in the garage of a Capitol Hill condo building. King 5 reports that the agent says he's had people asking if the listing is for real. It's real. No word yet on any offers, but with the way things have been going, expect a bidding war. Happy Friday. We made it through another week. A lot of us got suckered by fake spring, and the West Seattle Bridge is short about 30 truckloads of concrete, which means it could stay closed for who knows how long at this point. But honestly, not very big problems in the grand scheme of things. We'll be keeping it tuned to KUOW and NPR all weekend for coverage of what's going on in Ukraine. On a brighter note, my colleague Katie Campbell is here. She's the senior producer of KUOW's Morning Edition. Hi, Katie.
Hey.
And Justin Shaw is back again. You know him from the Seattle Weather Blog. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Diana.
Okay, if anyone is new to the area, there's this funny hand-drawn Seattle seasons chart that I keep seeing all over social media. I guess it's old, but it's new to me. Right now it says we're halfway through a 6-month period called the gray. If we all had it earlier, we would know that February is fake spring. That's what it's known for. Justin, you're a weather guy. Do you fall for the nice weather, or are you too smart for that? Because I totally fell for it.
You know, I didn't really fall for it this time around, but I can understand why everybody does, especially this time, right? We had a couple days, near 60 degrees. We had so many nice weekends. After that snow in December, January was pretty much just kind of a quiet, nice month. And it seemed like, too, as we were getting closer and closer to March, it kind of seemed like, well, maybe there isn't going to be a return of winter this time. Maybe this is the year we break the February curse, but lo and behold, 23 degrees yesterday. So there you go.
Yeah. So we got a record cold temperature this week, Justin. Like you said, we had the coldest February 23rd on record, according to one of your tweets. Are you craving boring weather yet? Or do you prefer this weather? Do you want another atmospheric river? What's your jam?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I'm done with the rain. I'm still a little tired from all the rain that we had back in December. I will never get tired of snow. I love snow. I should have lived in the times of, Elsa and Anna, because, I love frozen stuff. I just love frozen stuff falling from the sky.
Go, Justin.
I might be in the minority here at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Katie, I think this is your first winter here, right? You moved here from Arizona last year where it doesn't get all Anna and Elsa-y. How have you been faring during this chilly, sunny week?
Yeah, it's more of like a Hades vibe in Phoenix where I lived for 5 years. And we also have like fake spring there. But it's the opposite way. It's like, oh, am I going to melt or do I actually get to sit outside and enjoy sunshine? But no, I was here last winter and I feel like I was vibing and it was like, okay. And we had that one big snow and I was kind of annoyed because everyone said it doesn't do that in Seattle. And I was like, well, but now this week, I'm like, I'm ready to wear normal clothes again and not have 5 layers on. And then I wake up at 4 a.m. as I do every day. And I'm looking outside as the sun is rising on my little apartment complex. And what do I see on the awning across from me? Freaking white stuff. It's outrageous. I'm done. I would prefer no more rain as well. I just want that sunshine. And, if it's cold, that's okay. Like, shout out to Esme Jimenez, friend of the pod, friend of KUOW. She tweeted earlier something like, I will take cold or sunny and freezing in Seattle over dreary and mild any day. I'm at least in that camp.
Okay. Well, I mean, good news, I guess, then, Katie, because this weekend is expected to be warmer, but the rain and wind will return for part of that. Justin, anything else we should be prepared for?
I mean, yeah, the only other thing I would add here, and sorry, Katie, you're probably not going to like this, but March is looking like it's going to run on the cold side. This does tend to happen during La Nina winters, which this winter is. So if you're, thinking about, I want to go out and start planting my garden on March 10th or whatever, it's not going to happen this year. We're probably in for another month of dreary, cold, damp conditions.
And I got to say something, Diana. I'm a huge fan of Justin here. Big fan of Seattle Weather Blog. It's a vibe for me. We differ big time, though, when it comes to our opinions on these things. And I blame you, Justin. You've laid a curse upon my garden and myself. I see you. I'm in a down vest inside today, and it's your fault.
What can I say? I mean, welcome to the Northwest. This ain't Arizona.
That's for sure.
That is for sure. It is not Arizona. And I think I will be doing a combination. I think I'll be doing the down jacket, but maybe I'll break out the flip-flops every once in a while just to have a sense of spring, If the rest of me is warm, then my toes will be fine. Is that? I don't know. Well, West Seattleites, they got some bad news this week. Striking truck drivers who deliver concrete are slowing projects all over the city over pay and benefits. Mayor Harrell warned it could delay the reopening of the West Seattle Bridge if the strike continues past Sunday, and that was 5 days ago. We haven't actually seen an official update, but the plan was to open in mid-July. So as of now, looks like West Seattle residents will be taking that detour a little while longer. Katie, you've got family in West Seattle, right? Has this news reached them yet? Like, how are they doing?
Oh, it's reached them more slowly than maybe normal because the bridge is closed and, the mail that can't get over there. No, it's one of those things that they tried so hard when I first got here last year to get me to live in West Seattle because they were like, that bridge, we don't know when it's going to reopen. And then when there was kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel/bridge, we were excited. It seemed like it was the fake spring. It was fake bridge spring.
Too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. And I am convinced at this point that bridge is just a figment of our imagination. It's like a landmark. Luckily, I ride an e-bike. I got rid of my car when I got here, and so I can just take the little Burt Gilman on over. But no, my family's they're not a big fan. So I'm guessing I'm going to be vacationing there on weekends as opposed to them coming to see me for another who knows how long.
Yeah. What about you, Justin? Are you impacted by the West Seattle Bridge closure at all?
Thankfully not, but I will say that even just in the couple times I've tried to do the detour, I've taken the family, to Alki or whatever, and you basically need a driver and you need a navigator, because it's so confusing. Take this street and this street, and then go back and go around here, and it's just a real inconvenience. And I say this as someone who doesn't live in West Seattle, so I don't know how people have put up with this for 2 years. I mean, 2 years, that's a long time. 2 months is a long time. So, yeah.
And you can tell people are done with it. And I got to say this on behalf of my mother. This is for you, Mom. You line jumpers on Admiral Way, you make it real difficult for people. If there was like less of that happening, I think it would move a little smoother, but people are so done with it. They're speeding all up and down that way. They're cutting each other off. People are mad and it's just taking longer. Just chill, y'all. Chill. Maybe ride the water taxi. I love the water taxi.
Well, speaking of things people are done with, Jay Inslee announced Washington State's indoor mask mandate is slated to end in a few weeks, March 21st. King County's vaccine verification will also end, and that's going to be March 1st. So that's just around the corner. That's next week. Katie, will this change your behavior? Are you one of those people who's done with wearing masks and showing your vax card?
I am done. I don't mind showing my vax card. That's easy on my phone. I can pull that up, no problem. I'm done with the masks, but I'm not going to be done with it. You mentioned my family over in West Seattle. We just got a new member of the family over the weekend, my second niece. But, you know, she's not vaccinated. Her mom was boosted before she was born, so that's good. But my 2-year-old niece isn't vaccinated, so I'm still going to be masking because I don't want to get my babies sick.
Yeah. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just going to be totally situational, somewhat to Katie's point. You know, it depends who you're around, if you're around young children, if you're around elderly people who are immunocompromised, or just, you know, I think, you know, we've all gotten used to wearing these for 2 years, so change is hard. And I think for a lot of us, myself included, right, it's going to feel a little weird to just rip off the Band-Aid just like that. You know, clock strikes midnight on March 21st and we're done. So I think for me, it'll probably be more of sort of a gradual easing. I think it's just going to take a while. And I think, you know, we all have our own different comfort zones. And, you know, it's just going to kind of be up to each person in each situation. I'm definitely tired of it, but, you know, if we're this close to the finish line, I can hold on a little longer. So
yeah, do you have little kids in your family?
I do. Yeah, I have 3 kids. So 2 of them are vaccinated, and then my youngest daughter is 2, so she can't get the vaccine. So that's another factor too, where it does become situational. You know, where I don't want to expose her and stuff. It's tricky because we want to be done with it, but you know, what can you do?
And, you know, Justin, it seems like things are slowly getting back to some version of normal in a lot of ways. Hockey games are, you know, happening. People are attending concerts, and they've been happening at Climate Pledge Arena for a little while now. And the Storm will be back playing home games at Seattle Center. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that. Fans are excited that the city's basketball greatest of all time, the GOAT, is going to be playing one more season. Sue Bird said this week that she'll be back in a Storm uniform. It's her 19th season, you guys, her 19th year in the WNBA, and she is taking a pay cut. She says winning is more important than money, and she'll be earning about $72,000, which is the league's veterans minimum salary. And that will let the Storm spend some cash on other players and maybe allow Bird to win a 5th title, which would be wild. So Sue's probably not hurting for money. Maybe she's making more off the court than on. But still, is winning more important than money? I mean, she took a cut of over $100,000. Katie?
I have such conflicting feelings here. On the one hand, like, yeah, glory over money. Like I want to win. And I mean, we're in journalism, for goodness sakes. Like no one gets into this business for money. It's all glory.
What are you talking about, Katie? That's what I was hoping for. Millions.
Right? I know. Where's my check? And, you know, I love this idea of freeing up money for other players who maybe aren't in as good a position as she is. But I can't help but feel like this is a little bit of a step back. Or not, I don't even want to put that on her, but like, what precedent does this set for other women in sport? I don't want to set this tone for women who follow her that they need to be more interested in winning than money. They should get both. If you're winning, you should be paid. Get paid and win.
Yeah. What about you, Justin? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think in my mind, Sue Bird can do no wrong. And I think it's because, so she literally started playing for the Storm when I was a senior in high school. Wow. And she's been the one, like, she's just been the one fixture on the Seattle sports scene, you know, for the past 20 years. Like everyone else, they've come, they've gone, they've retired. I mean, even someone like Russell Wilson, he's been here 10 years, you know, she's been here 20. So to me, I'm just like, you know, anything that will make Sue Bird stay around in this city for another year is amazing, because just the fact that she's inspired so many young women, you know, to take up the sport, so many young women to, you know, realize their potential. To me, when I saw the headline at first, I was just like, you know, Sue Bird's already on cloud 9 for me. So I'm like, oh, you know, now she's on cloud 10. I just think, you know, we need a statue of her, in my opinion, right? We need to rename Mercer Street Sue Bird Street, because I just think she's done so much for this community and this city. That, you know, if she wants to play another season and this is the only way to get her to do that, by all means, take a pay cut.
Okay, I think we got to start a petition to get a street named after Sue Bird here. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thanks to our guest, Katie Campbell, senior producer on Morning Edition at KUOW, and Justin Shaw of the Seattle Weather blog.
Bye.
Bye, Diana.
Oh, hey, real quick, 2 things before we go. 1, happy Black History Month. We've been sharing stories in our stories on Instagram, so be sure to follow us at Seattle Now Pod. And it's been 2 years since the start of the pandemic, and KUOW wants to know if you have a story or a moment that you want to share. We're gathering them up for a project called Postcards from the Pandemic. We'd love to hear some Seattle Now listeners in the mix. We'll put info on how you can share your story with us in the show notes. Thanks for hanging out with us on Casual Friday. Caroline Chamberlain Gomez and Jason Pagano produced today's show. Matt Jorgensen does our theme music. I'm Diana Opong. I'll catch you Monday. Until then, I hope you have a great weekend.